What's up, everybody? It's Kyle with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. So this is the second silliness report that I've done. I'm doing these about once a month, and if you don't like it, tough. The reason is I realize there's a lot of stuff, including Bigfoot. We actually just made a video about that yesterday that I'm very interested in, that I have a lot of knowledge about, that I want to start sharing, right? I got to like the content I'm putting out. And I love what I'm putting out, but there's so much more I can put out. I've got a very curious brain. Some of the stuff in the silliness report might disturb you, might shock you. You might be like, what the hell is he talking about? Well, look it up. That's all I can tell you. I'm on top of all this stuff, and I'm going to tell you guys. Before COVID started, November of 19, I had been paying attention, right? I'm always researching stuff, and they kept mentioning this virus. And I told Susie Homemaker, my wife, Devin, I said, there's something very fishy about how they're propping this thing up. December, same thing. January, February. Got my dual strength mug right there. So when it hit that March, I didn't buy into it for a second, not a split second. Nope, no how, no way. And listen, my grandfather Leo passed from COVID. He was like a second father to me. So, besides the point. But I can see patterns, and I see what's going on. I'm very good at seeing patterns. With training, for example, that's what makes me such a great coach. I can look at somebody's patterns of how they're moving and assess it from across the room. So hopefully you guys find this entertaining. Let's see what I'm going to start with here. Let me start with the UFOs. I actually made a video about that yesterday too. So if you're paying attention, right, and I don't watch any mainstream media anymore. Used to watch Fox News, but it's all corrupt. It's all corrupted. It's all the same script they're all reading. But Congress is having hearings on UFOs. Now, I believe in UFOs. Roswell, New Mexico, I was studying that as a young kid. I was looking up that situation, 1947, fire in the sky, this type of stuff. So I've been studying like cryptozoology stuff and looking at it for literally decades. Over 3 decades, I've been fascinated by this stuff. So I believe in UFOs, but what they're talking about is just a distraction. This has been in the works for a long time. It's look over here while this goes on. Now, the government, if you look at, I believe it's Project Blue Beam, but they have holographic weaponry and stuff that they can use. So, it's control. If you look at what's going on around the world, what really these agendas are is to bring in the New World Order, the one world government. You might say, what the hell is that? Well, one world government is just like it sounds. This stuff that Ayn Rand was talking about a century ago. It's complete control. And if you look at what they're doing, if you listen to the last silliness report with the global digital bank currency, that's to get everybody into the same system for complete control. If they don't like what you say, they're going to shut you off. Like me, I'm a challenger. If this was going back when I opened, despite the governor's orders and all that, they would have shut my bank account off, and that's why I'm not going into that system. So just mark my words. It's all going to be digital, guys. But they're propping UFOs up right now as a distraction from what's going on with Hunter Biden. Now, I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. They're all the same. It doesn't matter. It's all corrupted. Now, I will tell you this. I love the idea of RFK Jr., anti-establishment. I love the idea of Donald Trump, anti-establishment. Trump, big fan of his as far as how he positions himself, but I don't know if he's authentic or if he's just controlled opposition type stuff. But with the Hunter Biden stuff going on, I mean, the dude brought cocaine into the White House. Allegedly. Unallegedly. They're saying they don't know. Whatever. And he's got all these plea deals with all this stuff they hid from his laptop and tax evasion. And thank goodness the judge has knocked it down. He should be subject to the same laws that everybody else is subject to. Well, that's going on. Guess what? They're having the UFO hearings. It's distracting. It's over here. The mainstream media isn't even covering this over there. Not even covering it. So UFOs, I believe in them, but what they're talking about is nonsense. It's distraction. So you can get that out of here. Let's go on to the Stanford President. That's the next thing. I actually made a video about this. It'll be coming out soon too. We made a video yesterday about this. So Stanford President, don't even know what his name is. He's resigning at the end of August. Because it turns out he was doctoring his studies, his findings with his research. Now, why would this be going on? Well, I've been looking at a lot of other science. A lot of these studies are doctored and they're falsified. So all these people on social media, when they come, where's the science for what you do? Throw your science out the window. Science is there to advance. But when you have these researchers and PhDs completely doctoring stuff, and look how that worked with COVID, right? Trust the science. How did that work out for everybody? They use that to manipulate people. Science is used to manipulate people. To me, the best form of science is you learn, you read. Like I had this PhD on Instagram. He's citing books. He's talking about books. He's not talking about research papers. What? Get out of here with that. That is complete garbage. I've got literally 1,000 books in my library, my personal library. I'll take that over any research paper any day of the week. Read the books, get inspired, you get the idea, and then you apply it. You develop direct knowledge. Direct knowledge is all that matters. That is the truth. That is your truth. Most people never develop direct knowledge. Another word for direct knowledge is wisdom. Okay? Discernment, there you go. But direct knowledge is what you should rely on solely as an individual with what is your truth. Too many people just want to rely on what do the studies say. What I do with fasting? Nobody's studying what I do with fasting. So I go by empirical data with me and my clients. Nobody studied somebody that's done as much fasting as I've done. So the Stanford president is resigning. So be very skeptical of science. Again, after the COVID situation, they kept telling you to trust the science. And if you look at it, even the mainstream isn't covering masks, the vaccine we're going to talk about in a second, all this stuff. It's all garbage, all nonsense. It was lies that was jammed down the public's throat. So let's talk next because it's probably going to take me the longest to go over Bronny James, that situation. The Jason Aldean song. So be mindful. You might have heard that he had Don't Try This in a Small Town, whatever the song is called. I haven't even heard the song yet. I've read the lyrics. Now, what does the mainstream want you to believe about this song? That it's racist. He doesn't mention race one time within the song. He shows actual footage from all the riots from the summer of 2020. This is not made up stuff. This actually happened, where people destroyed cities, Antifa, and all this nonsense was going on. So he comes out and says, don't try this in a small town. And he's right. We want to see tight-knit communities. Who cares? People that focus on what people look like as the discerning factor is those are the people that are by definition racist. I only care about what's between your ears and in your heart. That's it. That's all we care about. So you come together. It doesn't matter black, white, brown, white. Come together and you stand up as a community and you don't let hooligans into your community. You don't allow this nonsense into your community. And we need stronger men in the communities to stop this from happening. Everything that's going on, the erosion of culture, the erosion of the family unit, just this nonsense, right? So the mainstream wants you to believe this song is racist. The country music channel, CMT, whatever, they banned it. But there's lessons. There's marketing lessons here as well. His song is now #1 by a long shot. Because people are so sick of the woke stuff. You go woke, you go broke. It's the way it is. So look it up for yourself. And he was at Candace Owens, the premiere of her movie. It's one of his best friends. She is black. He's not racist. Don't listen to anything the mainstream. I tell people, you don't know what the truth is, but you know whatever the mainstream is telling you, it's not the truth. It's probably the exact opposite of that. Right? They don't want certain messages to get out there. They don't want people to think for themselves. I tie all this back to fasting and being purely healthy. When you're healthy and you're strong and you're fit, guess what? You think for yourself. You're harder to control. Now, let's go on to Bronny James last, because this is still something that people have their head in the sand about. And if you happened to get the vaccine, I'm going to give you a way that you can protect your health from the potential clotting. So Bronny James, LeBron James' son, you could argue best genetics in the world, potentially. Now, he had a heart attack the other day at his USC practice, summer practice, open runs. Big basketball fan I am. He's 18 years old. This has been going on all over the place. He just happens to be very high profile. 18-year-olds is incredibly rare to have a heart attack. Now, you might say, well, what does that have to do? Well, obviously, guys, use your head. This is linked to the shot. Now, you might say, where is the research? So let me pull something up for you guys here. According to data, athlete deaths are up 1,700% compared to the monthly averages recorded since 1966. So, between the years of 1966 and 2004, 39 years, there were 1,101 sudden deaths among otherwise healthy athletes under the age of 35. Comparatively, between January 21 and April 22, just 16 months, there was at least 673 deaths among athletes of the same demographic. So, that's just some information for you. Me and my family did not even come close to getting that shot. My parents did, my in-laws did. A lot of people I loved got it. You got to make your own decision. But be very mindful. If you look at what do you think happened to Jamie Foxx too? Like look up this stuff. I can't even think of his name. The dude that was on the Bills, right? What they tried to say it was only happens really in youth baseball players. That it was the hit to the chest and his heart stopped. Then why did his heart stop again when he got to the hospital? Doesn't make any sense. Now, we need people to start speaking up about this. I care about people as fellow human beings. So when I was listening to this interview back in November, probably the biggest thing I get in my DMs is, what's up with the urine therapy? What are you doing with that? We're listening to this doctor, and they're talking about what can we do to help people that have gotten a vaccine that have potential clotting issues. Because some of these are just like ticking time bombs. Again, listen to what I just told you about healthy athletes. It's dropping dead all over the world. And you don't see this covered anywhere. Like ESPN was trying to normalize, it's normal for 18-year-olds to have heart attacks. Get out of here with that junk. So, this doctor's talking about the only thing we know, there's compounds within your urine that could dissolve clots very quickly. So I went down that rabbit hole, started studying urine therapy, which has been used all over the world forever, especially Eastern stuff. It's been hidden from us. The number one thing that pharmaceutical companies study, the number one thing, compound, I guess you would call it, is urine, because there's so many medicinal benefits to it. Now, you don't hear about this. So although I didn't get the vaccine, I went down that rabbit hole for health. Over 2,600 enzymes, hormones, nutrients, stem cells produced by your body. It's part of your blood plasma, is in your urine. So if you're highly toxic on a lot of medication, I wouldn't do that. But the leaner you are, the less toxic you are, give it a go, would be my recommendation. But follow that story about Bronny James. Very high profile that dropped from a heart attack, 18 years old. It's not normal, guys. Not normal. And if you're not reading the stuff that I read, like I'm just constantly studying stuff. Fasting, mindset, training, nutrition, medicine, what's going on around the world. And Devin will tell you guys, everything going on around the world, since 2020, I have not been wrong in any of my predictions. Zero. And at first, people would say, you're crazy, you're crazy. All ideas, they go through that 3-step process. Right? At first, they're discarded, then they're highly ridiculed, then they're accepted as truth. I care about you if you listen to my show, if you listen to my content. So I'm going to be putting stuff out like this. The Silliness Report, I'll probably grow this. I have people that have been approaching me to do certain podcasts on these topics because when I talk to people, they realize that I'm tuned into this stuff. And I think it needs to be shared. I find it fascinating what's going on around the world. But we also have to stand up and unite. We've got to unite. Don't be duped by the programming that's being pumped into your brain. Think about it, guys. Mainstream. It's there you go. There you go, D Short. And don't be duped. It's called television programming. They're programming you what they want you to think. This has been going on forever, guys. What the masses tell you. This is my Bible right here. There's stuff that's been omitted from the Bible to be kept from us by the authorities. Not from Jesus Christ or the disciples or apostles. Not from them. But if you go back, and again, I've studied this stuff forever. Illuminati, secret societies. I'm fascinated by it. But it's not so crazy anymore. It's not so crazy anymore. So look into this, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little bit different topic that my Bigfoot hat, D-Guns, of course. I got this in Western Carolina. And what did I wind up talking with Dan Aykroyd's bodyguard about? Bigfoot. Cryptids. What's going on around the world. He goes, now I know what you're about. I can talk to you. And people find it refreshing. So if you ever want to talk to me about this stuff, guys, just reach out. But I just love sharing knowledge, guys. You take what you want to do with it and turn it into wisdom. That's what wisdom is. Applied knowledge. So that's all the time I have today for the Silliness Report. I've got to write some emails. Make sure you go to the Panda Man Official, get on my email list, because those are different emails that I write, and they're more controversial and all that, but they're coming out 5 days a week, just like I do with the gym for years. I don't miss Monday through Friday. There's a daily email coming at you. And I'm just excited, guys. I'm excited to, there you go, Ryan. Well, it's like there's a lot of stuff about fasting that's been omitted from the Bible. Why would that be hidden from us? I don't know. But I believe, guys, with everything, this is what I'll close with. We are powerful beyond belief as individuals. The establishment doesn't want you guys to know that. Visualization, manifestation. There's all this stuff that has been omitted. The power of prayer and fasting combined. Why has that been hidden from us? Because we are powerful beyond belief, guys. I really believe that. In my heart, I believe that. There's no stopping us as individuals. We just all have to elevate and come to a higher frequency, vibrate at a higher frequency. Okay? So, I'm going to get to those emails. Thank you guys for the support. Hit the like, hit the thumbs up. Disagree with me, I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'm just telling you what I know. What is my truth? You all have your own truth. And I will say, as a PS, had so many haters, which I love. I love the haters. When I opened the gym, okay, that's good, Ronnie. I'm glad, man. And we got to spread the word, Ronald. Spread the word. And at the time, it was like 75% hate. Some of the community supported me. You know, obviously all members at the gym might have disagreed, but they supported me. And I said at the time, before I was on Fox News, history will prove me right. And guess what? Hasn't been that long, but history has proved me right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.